Monsters that people did not run from. They prayed to them. They built temples in their honor. They offered sacrifices. They believed these beings controlled life, death, and everything in between. Tonight, we are looking at disturbing mythical creatures that were not just feared in the shadows, they were worshipped, and some of them still are. Long before the world existed, according to Aztec mythology, there was only endless water, and drifting in that dark ocean was something hungry. Its name was Cipactli. This creature was not just large, it was cosmic, a massive reptilian being floating through the primordial sea. Every joint in its body had a mouth, every limb could devour. It consumed anything that dared to exist. When the gods attempted to create land, mountains, or even plants, everything fell into the ocean and was swallowed by Cipactli. So the gods made a desperate decision. They used themselves as bait. After a violent struggle, they managed to tear the creature apart. From its body, they created the world. Its head became the heavens. Its body became the earth. Its tail became the underworld. According to this belief, the ground beneath your feet was once a monster. And the Aztecs did not simply fear it, they honored it, because without that terrifying being, nothing would exist. In ancient Egypt, death was not the end. It was a test. When someone died, their heart was weighed against the feather of truth. Waiting beside the scales was a creature known as Ammit. Ammit had the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hind legs of a hippopotamus. The three most dangerous animals known to ancient Egyptians combined into one being. If your heart was heavier than the feather, meaning you had lived a life of wrongdoing, Ammit would consume it. Not your body, your soul. And once your soul was devoured, you would not move on to an afterlife. You would not be punished. You would simply cease to exist, erased forever. Despite this terrifying role, Ammit was not considered evil. She was necessary. She maintained balance. She represented justice. In some temples, she was respected, worshipped not because she was kind, but because she was fair. Far to the north, on the storm-battered islands of Orkney, people whispered about something rising from the sea, a creature known as the knucklehead. It was described as a fusion of horse and rider, but fused together as one being. Its upper body was human-like, attached directly to a massive horse body. But the most disturbing detail was this: it had no skin. Muscle and dark veins visible across its body, one burning eye, a breath so toxic it could rot crops and sicken livestock. When plague struck the islands, people believed the knucklehead had risen from the sea, and yet it was connected to older sea spirits and forces of nature. It was not just a monster, it was part of the balance, a destructive force that demanded respect. The only thing said to stop it was fresh water. If someone was being chased, crossing a river might save them, if they were lucky. Back in Egypt, there was another being far more powerful, Sobek, the crocodile god. Crocodiles ruled the Nile, silent ancient predators lurking beneath the water. Instead of simply fearing them, the Egyptians worshipped them. Sobek represented strength, fertility, and military power. Temples were built in his name. Live crocodiles were kept in sacred pools and decorated with gold jewelry. When they died, they were mummified like royalty. Why worship something so dangerous? Because Sobek controlled the Nile, and the Nile meant life. And finally, there is Sekhmet, an Egyptian goddess with the head of a lioness. She was created to punish humanity for rebellion. Her fury was unstoppable. Legends say she nearly wiped out mankind in her rage. To stop her, the gods dyed beer red to resemble blood. She drank it, believing it was more destruction, and eventually fell into a deep sleep. Despite her terrifying power, Sekhmet was worshipped as both a destroyer and a healer. She could bring plagues, and she could remove them. Destruction and protection combined into one divine force. Across continents and centuries, humanity has done something strange. We did not just imagine monsters, we gave them names, we gave them temples, we gave them offerings. Perhaps because the world itself can be terrifying. Storms, disease, death. It feels easier to believe those forces have a face, a personality, something that can be prayed to. Because if something has a name, maybe it can be reasoned with, maybe it can be pleased, maybe it can be controlled. So the next time you hear about a monster from ancient mythology, ask yourself something. Was it truly feared, or was it worshipped? And which of those is more disturbing? Until next time, stay curious.